All right, what's going on, everybody? My name is Elias. I've been dropshipping on eBay for the last 3 months, and today's the second episode of the 90-day series where I take an account from 0 to 10,000 listings and show you guys every step of the way. And the reason we're taking it to 10,000 listings as opposed to 15 or 20,000 is because 10,000 listings is the amount you can list on a premium store, which is where you get the best bang for your dollar. So without wasting any more time, let me show you guys my screen. All right, so as you guys can see, we're right where we left off from last episode. We're at 30 listings. If you remember yesterday, we were at 15 listings and we decided to list another 15. Today, we're also going to double our listings. We're going to get to that 60 listing mark. In this episode, we're going to go ahead and snipe another 3 listings, which, if you guys do the math, right, yesterday we went ahead and bulk listed 10 and we sniped 5, which means that we're a little over our 90-10 rule because remember, we're committed to a format where we are sniping 10% of our listings and we're bulk listing 90. And the reason we do so, I go over this multiple times in previous videos, but sniping builds momentum. And what that means is I got this question actually. It was somebody in my comments, or it might have been on Telegram. I'm not positive, but that's besides the point. They asked, hey, wouldn't you just get more sales if you bulk listed 100% of your items as opposed to 10%? And I feel like the reason that question was brought up was because in one of my videos, I was talking about building momentum, and I touched basis on the point that some of my sniped items aren't, not that I'm losing money on them, but they're break even or I'm like profiting 20, 30 cents. And then they asked, they're like, okay, well, if I just bulk listed that extra 1,000, wouldn't I be making more money? Because with the bulk listed items, we're marking our products up by 100 and 120%. There's profit there. So from their perspective, they can't really see the value in, having a tenth of your store sniped, which keep in mind, there are items I'm sniping that I'm making profit on, like good profit. One of my biggest winners, I sold 8 in a day and it was about $8 profit per item. So it's almost 70 bucks that day just from that one item. Um, and as we go on, like on my second account right now, where I'm hovering above 9,000 listings, I'm sniping and I'm sniping items that have decent profit. I kind of geared away from breaking even. That's just because I'm getting a lot of sales daily. Like I'm getting no less than 10 sales a day on that account. So I wanted to settle more with profitable sniped items as opposed to break even ones that will just build momentum for my account. But yeah, that person asked, they said, hey, wouldn't I just make more money by bulk listing all my items? And the answer is no. And the reason I found this to be true is because on my first eBay account, you can very clearly see my graph that prior to sniping, it was very staggered. There was days where I would get only 2 sales, then it would jump up to days where I did $600 in sales, then the next day I'd have no sales. It was very staggered. Yes, they're all bulk listed items. My markup percentage was a little bit lower than I do it now. Um, but yeah, it was on and off. I was still making money, but nowhere near as much money as I'm making now. And you can very clearly see in the trend that as soon as I started sniping, not only am I getting more sales daily because of my sniped sales, like the money I'm getting from those items that are selling, but you start to see all my bulk listed items starting to sell. So it was very clear to me, just experimenting on my first account, that it works and it's true that sniping does build momentum for your bulk listed items, and that is exactly why we're formatting our account in this way. So today it's literally gonna be the same as yesterday, where we're gonna go ahead and bulk list. Um, we're gonna go ahead and bulk list 27. So I'm actually just gonna set the third count to 3 and just check my listings all the way up until it hits 57. And then while I do that on my account on my computer, because remember this is my second account, I'm gonna be running through my competitor research tool on Ecom Sniper, which keep in mind that's literally just going through data of items that were proven to sell. Which what that means is if you see this list here, these are all just eBay sellers that I know are drop shippers because I just go on Amazon, I find items, and I search them on eBay. And if it's marked up by 100%, it's pretty obvious that they're drop shipping, especially when they have all the same stock photos from Amazon. So this is literally just 700 eBay drop shippers. What you do is you just turn on the sold history. So it's going to scan through all the sold items, how many times they sold within a specific time frame, and you're able to dissect all that data and Obviously, if you have an item that sold 5 times in the last 2 days, it has demand and it will sell. That's what sniping is. You're able to find proven demand with items, smack it on eBay with a lower price tag as the previous listing, which has proven demand, and you will begin to see sales. So I'm going to go ahead and have that running on my computer while I have the bulk lister running at a third count of 3 in the meantime. So I'll get back to you guys whenever I'm done bulk listing and I have some competitor research lined up. All right, so just like that, a couple minutes later, the software listed the items for us. We're at that 57 listings mark. So we're gonna go ahead and snipe 3. I ran my competitor scanner here on my other computer, and I'll go ahead and show you guys what I found. So right here, we see that this guy sold 3 in the last 3 days, 4 in the last 7 days. You buy it on Amazon for $26.99. He's selling it for $38.49. I was looking to see if it's broad enough for me to just list one of the similar items, which happens to be only $10 as opposed to almost 30. But I'm not too sure, right? Because I know this right here is the brand, I believe. Although it is a broad enough title because these titles are very similar. The only difference would be the brand. And yeah, I'm not positive whether or not that would be a problem. Of course, the design is different, so it wouldn't sell the complete same. But I'm kind of tempted just to list it with this supplier just to see what happens here, right? So we'll go ahead and do that. I already looked it up, and the cheapest happens to be $35.99. So we're gonna go ahead and list it. I know I went over this last episode. You really just go ahead and click here with the software. You import it. What it's gonna do is give you the exact same title, which is selling, right? Because that's where the demand comes from. And then along with that, you want to undercut the price, and what it does is it goes ahead and cuts the price for you automatically by 5 cents. We're going to go ahead and cut it by a little bit more, which actually we're not cutting by, we're going to cut by this price, which now that I'm looking at it, I think, yeah, this is actually a different title. So we're good to just list it at where we had it, which happened to be, let's do 2840, 3840, my bad, and we'll call it there. Yeah, we'll see what happens with this one. This one's kind of an experimental listing. For the other product I found, this item right here, same seller, it looks to be, he sold 3 in the last 3 days, 3 in the last 7 days, and he sold it at $27.49. We found the listing on Amazon for $18.97 with a 10% coupon, so a little over $17, which would leave us, if we open up the eBay sale calculator, that would leave us, because we see the cheapest listings $25.64, so let's say that we're selling it for $24.95, right? What that leaves us with, a take home of $21.24, and if we're buying it for 17 or so, that'll leave us with a couple dollars profit, so that looks good to me. We're going to go ahead and copy, just like before. You go ahead and import it, and then we're going to sell it at, let's see, what did I say? This is $25.64, so we're just going to sell it at, yeah, $24.95. Right? That's what I plugged in here. Yeah, we'll go ahead and do that. Everything looks good. Again, you will just snipe list, and then I'll find the last one with you. I only had 2 prepped. Alright, so I just realized I was doing that on the wrong account, which makes no difference. It's the same exact process. Although, I'm going to just go over one more with you guys, and I'm going to list the 2 that I already listed, which I just canceled on this account, but I'm going to go ahead and relist them on the second account. But we'll go ahead and do one more together just to show you the process. I only had 2 prepared, but let's see. 34.5. This one's not gonna work. 8.4. Can't find that one. 22.98. There's a lot of coins. I never have luck with these coins. I normally stay away from them. Let's see. 2074 for Gold Busters. Is it this one? A 5 ounce 12 count? Yes, it is. So 2074 is what they're selling at. They sold 3 in the last 3 days. Let's see if they're the cheapest with the title. The packet 12, and this is what I mean, right? This is not the same title as this. Like everything's the same except for the commas and the parentheses. That stuff matters. So you always have to keep that in mind. I believe that this is actually the cheapest at that price. Let me double check with the comma after 5. Yeah, so 1938 is the cheapest. So we're just gonna go ahead and sell it at 1933, right? Just like before. We're gonna go ahead and do it like this though. Copy over this Amazon listing because we're gonna list on this account this time instead of accidentally putting it on my first account. So what did I say? I was gonna sell it at 1933. Go ahead and import, and then 1933, and then you go ahead and snipe list. So exact same thing as yesterday, not much has changed. You'll see more goes into the account as the listings continue to increase, right? So in a couple of days, we'll get to the point where we're listing 150 to 200 items a day, and then you'll see we start to have to solve problems. There's more strategy that goes into it, but for now, it's as simple as it gets. So I'm going to go ahead and relist the previous 2 listings that I accidentally began listing on my first account. I'm gonna go ahead and put that on the second account. But if you guys have any questions, make sure to comment or reach out to me on Discord. Have a couple videos linked in the description that go more in depth on the strategies that I use in this video, and I'll see you guys tomorrow for episode number 3.